Okay, this video is science versus religion. I don't know if I did this video yet. Maybe I did, and if I did, then I'll just chalk it up to me doing the same video twice because I'm stupid and I didn't make sure that I didn't already do this video. Because I always like to do one thing at least once, everything at least once. So this will be my first time. And if I didn't, then my God, why did I take so dang long? So the differences between science and religion. I'm doing this video because I did a video months ago where I say Buddhists should believe in God. And then some Buddhist called like Lord Buddha is best or something like that goes like, oh, you suck, you can't tell me to believe in God or something like that. Anyways, and then I like went back and somehow I mentioned that that science and religion are the same thing. And he goes, science and religion aren't the same thing. And I go, well, I think they're the same thing. I think science can support religion and religions can support science. To get into it, you have to go into the whole history. Like, we in this society, we pendulum back and forth between extremes. That's just what happens in primitive society. We got way too into God for a long time, where God was like this white-bearded, long-haired old guy sitting on a throne on top of a cloud in the sky for all of eternity, and you go there and you hang out with him for all of eternity, or either that or you go to hell for all of eternity. And that was the Romans trying to scare the pants off people so they become part of the Catholic Church and the Roman Empire. So then the scientists were finally like, whoa, hold on, this is getting a little bit out of hand, is ridiculous, let's put our thinking caps on and be logical here. So then they figured out that the Earth actually revolves around the sun, and that came up with all of these Newtonian physical laws, equal and opposite reaction, and gravity based on how big something is, and just black and white, getting into math again. And then the pendulum swings way over here off into the scientific realm, and then they're like, yeah, we don't believe in God at all, there is no God. And people are like that today. People go, like, you'll have somebody who was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, and then they realize how ridiculous Jehovah's Witnesses is because they're all think everybody's going to go to hell forever if you're not Christian. So then they go, okay, then there is no God. I hate God. This whole God thing is ridiculous. So then they decide they're not going to believe in God at all. So they go way over to the other end, and then you have all these atheists. What is it? I think 10% of the people in the world are atheists. And actually the atheism numbers go up once you get higher and higher education too, which is kind of interesting. But you got these people who basically make it their religion. The agnostics are the people who don't know. The atheists are the people whose religion it is to not believe in anything, not believe in God, not believe that your soul exists after you die, that you just evaporate and it's like you never existed. And that's completely insane. Because it's like, what's the point in life then? If that's like going to college and busting your ass in college and not having any vision of the future or anything. I know you can enjoy your life and stuff, but I mean, that I guess the better way to put it is that's like saying that the universe is unfair. What about all these poor people who have bad lives? So what, they get their one bad life and then it's over? It's crazy. So it's kind of like this pendulum back and forth. So now you've got the scientists, and unfortunately the scientists these days are atheists. And they think they're being like objective, but turns out that they're not. There's plenty of scientific experiments that prove that the universe is eternal and that God exists, and that our souls go someplace when they die, and our souls are actually what control the world, and there's another dimension to everything. So I'm looking at like religion and science is kind of like being the five guys with the claws pulled over their head and they can't see, and then one of them's and they're all playing with an elephant. One guy's grabbing the tail and says it's a rope. The other guy's grabbing the trunk, says it's a tree. The other guy's grabbing the ear, and he says it's a fan. The other guy's got the trunk, and he says it's like a hose, you know, and they're all like bickering and squabbling with each other, and when all they have to do is open their eyes and take a step back and see that it's all part of the same thing. So I will refer you, if you disagree with me or if you agree with me, to certain scientific experiments that prove it. One of them is called the double slit experiment. The double slit experiment is what proves the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, which is proves that our intention and what we focus on actually changes physical reality. I actually have a video, and maybe I'll attach it to this video if I can find it. It says that they get these two slits, they shine light through it. The light makes ripples on the other side, showing that you've got all these protons that are bouncing off of each other. Like as if the light comes through simultaneously, which doesn't really make any sense, because you shine light and light's supposed to go from one end to the next, not like this ray of this wave that suddenly appears all at the same time. It's just there. So then they go, well, that's weird. Well, let's shoot the protons through one at a time. So they shoot the protons through one at a time, and lo and behold, the little ripples appear again. So they go, but we're shooting them through one at a time. How can that be? How can they be bouncing off each other? The ripples happen when they bounce off each other, kind of like when you push water through and the waves bounce off each other and you get all the different lines. So then they took photos of each and every proton they sent through. And when they did that, there were no more ripples. Even though the machine that was shooting the protons through was doing the same exact thing as before. They made the ripples disappear by turning their camera on. So that shows that when you focus on something, you actually make the physical reality whatever you focus on. And so if you want to extrapolate that out, then if you have strong enough of a focus, you can levitate, you can do whatever you want. This world is our oyster to do whatever we want with, which means that higher dimensions influence lower dimensions. So there are higher dimensions. And then they do the proton colliders at CERN, where they spin those things around at like almost the speed of light on these big 20-mile in diameter donuts that crash into each other, and then they take photos of them as they explode, and then they see the little configurations, and then they go, oh, okay, so that's what energy is made out of. And then they do it faster and they get another configuration, and then they did it like up to 11 different configurations with different representing all the different platonic solids. And they go, okay, so there's 11 dimensions in the world. So in each one of these dimensions is kind of like, doesn't relate to anything else. And which scientifically proves that there's a spirit world. There's another world where people are living in when your soul goes, you're living in that dimension. And then they measured how fast the quarks vibrate, which is 22 zeros after 1 in a second. And ever since the beginning of time, the Buddhists who meditate say that we're all made out of energy and vibration that's always bleeping in and out in the energy. And then the theory of relativity, that light and matter are the same thing. And all of the experiments that prove that, like how astronauts and even airline pilots have to set their watches back all the time because they're going closer to the speed of light, so the time actually slows down for them. This all supports that matter and light are the same thing, and which is what the Buddhists have always said, that we're all made out of energy and matter. So it's religion. It's science supporting religion predicting science. And then you could say that also a lot of religions say that the earth is alive. Well, we scientifically proven that the earth is growing, so the earth is alive because it grows. And then it poops the oil and grows, eats the light. It's life. Biology. Religion has always said, your attention your mind and your attention can change your body. Well, then they did the biological experiments that will actually, yeah, the thought forms you make that go in and open up those sheaths with the certain shaped enzyme protein to give you, the cancer, if that's latent, or anything good that's latent, you can bring up with your mind. So it's all interrelated and connected. Anyways, I'm out of time. Religion and science, same thing.